Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John, this is Mania True Nerd, and welcome to the Town of Light. So, the Town of Light is a psychological horror game. I'm not normally a fan of horror games. I don't really like jump scares. I don't really like excessive gore or just big spooky monsters that jump out of air vents or whatever. But over the past year or so, I've really grown to appreciate the psychological horror games. That sense of creeping uncertainty and being ill at ease and being not sure what's coming. I've been quite enjoying that sort of thing. So I decided to give this one a go. And what particularly appealed to me about the Town of Light is I've read it's based inside an insane asylum, obviously a very classic place to set a psychological horror game, except this one is an insane asylum in Italy that's based on an actual insane asylum that actually exists on the ground in Italy. Now, obviously, I know that, lots of films and games might say things like, this is found footage, this is based on a true story, and it might all be total nonsense. So, I don't know. They may be lying. But in either case, that's interesting enough. Let's give this a little look, shall we? Ah, yes, there it goes. The Town of Light is based on real facts and places, as well as a long documentation concerning mental illness and the life of patients in lunatic asylums from the beginning of the 20th century until their closure, which I can believe, because as I've touched upon in previous videos, yes, the history of treating mental illness up to very, very recently, and in many parts of the world, even today, is a true horror story, and well worth reading into if you want to be utterly horrified. Volterra 1942. Okay, so we are in the middle of World War II, and indeed in Italy. Not a good place to be.
What's happened? What kind of place is this? Maybe I'm dead. I can't see any light. I might be dead. I can't get up. What's going on here? What's happening to me? There's no one here, yet these noises. God, my head is killing me. I can't keep my eyes open.
Reality fades away and my skin has gone. Every breath of wind is excruciatingly painful. And, Volterra Tuscany 2016. So now we are in the future. I've decided I don't want to explore the creepy insane asylum after all. I've decided I'm just going to leave and get in my car and go to a nice happier place, like the abandoned amusement park over the street. That sounds much... Oh, I can't actually leave, can I? No, I can't. That's a shame. I'll tell you what else actually appealed to me about the Town of Light. The reason I really enjoyed Firewatch actually was I just didn't know what was going to happen next. I had no bloody clue. And this game, I don't know. I don't know whether this game has jump scares. I don't know whether this game has a supernatural element or whether there's actually zombies or anything. There might be or there might not, which makes the tension so much worse and makes it much more enjoyable for that lovely sensation. So I can't get through there. I'm going to need to find another way around. For all I know, this could basically just be a walking simulator with a slightly spooky theme. But I'm going to have no idea, and I'm still going to be utterly terrified the whole time for what might be about to happen. So I can crack this open, lovely, and start exploring. So X to turn on or off the flashlight. Okay, why would you ever want the flashlight off in that case, unless there's potentially going to be monsters to hide from? Yes, indeed. We've got ourselves one fridge. You see, I'm already in the mood for a horror game here, which is, the moment that fridge opened, I backed off because I was just expecting, a corpse, something to fall out of the fridge, because the game's been designed in such a way to say, look, if there's this room here that's, got no purpose other than there's a fridge at the end, then obviously there's going to be something spooky in the fridge. Oh, wait, hang on, my mistake. That gate there could actually be opened up. It's just there's no prompt on screen. Am I able to just go over to these stairs instead? I clearly saw there's something this way. How do I get through here, or can I not get through here? Hang on. Children's playground at the minute. So obviously this place hasn't been touched for a long time, because there's actually a large... Actually, no, that's... A very large tree has grown here. They must have been cultivating a tree inside this greenhouse before the asylum went dark, and then it's grown way beyond the bounds. So this place has indeed been completely abandoned for some time. But as far as I can tell, no way to get through to the other side and to those steps there. That will be coming up later. As the music starts, the game begins to introduce itself. The Town of Light indeed. And with some very pretty birds floating around. we come upon the asylum that presumably we saw previously. I don't know who I am, by the way, whether I'm, you know, a building inspector. I'm here to kind of verify whether this building's safe to be torn down. I might be an investigator.
This place. Time. Memory.
So why to access the synopsis menu? Experience, memories, medical records. Okay, experience. Okay, so we've seen that, obviously. Fine. And then memories. No memories yet. Medical records, no documents yet. This is all about, yes, piecing together what happened here, which is fine. That's a kind of fairly common framing device for this sort of thing. Now, those stairs I saw earlier. So before I go inside, I can get down to here. And now I'm kind of curious, what's this side of the fence that meant they needed to block it off earlier? A doorway down here. Okay, remember that, because I'm guessing that means the doorway upstairs is going to be blocked off. Okay, so secret entrance down here. Indeed, if we go to the front... No! The front door is just open. Ooh. That means that what's down below... And there's more entrances too. More stuff around the side here. Is this open as well? No, this bit's locked off. Alright, let's start up top here, but remember there's a secret entrance down below. So we're now inside an insane asylum. Unfortunately, even though everything's in Italian, obviously I can have that translated here. The Fascist National Federation for the Fight Against Tuberculosis. So a civilized person does not spit on the ground. Indeed, they do not. And also, you don't swear or say God out loud, because, yes, the Anti-Blasphemy Committee takes a very dim view of that sort of thing. Now, what have we got here for the map? I am there at the bottom in the middle, and then we've got a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, the building stretches out in either direction, but what looks like on the left there could well be the generator room. Getting the power back on could well be a worthwhile thing to do. Alright, fine. And then past... Ooh. Is that a happy face or a sad face? Ooh, it's a hatch. Okay, fine. Okay, so anything that's got that symbol over it you can interact with.
The only thing I remember clearly is Charlotte, my doll.
Charlotte the doll. But first up, power. We're going to need to get power back on here. Okay, so that should be power. And there's creepy faces on everything. Lovely. Let's just close that up again. Now that should mean, hopefully, we've just restored power to the building. So now if we go back to that light switch and just... Oh, okay, yes. Yes, we have. Good. So now we can turn the power back on and off. Lights, good. Now this I quite like. That's sensible. You go into an insane asylum, what's the first thing you do? Well, you try and find the lights, don't you? You've turned the power back on and you check all the lights. Lovely. Okay, so power restored, and I'm guessing... Oh no, there's nothing to stop me going upstairs right the hell now. Okay. So, let's go back to the map and figure out what a sensible starting place is from that map there. See what we should go and investigate. Because it mentioned her doll. So if I mentioned her doll, does that mean that I potentially want to go and try and find where this one was? I'm guessing now I might well be one of the people who previously stayed in this insane asylum. The observation ward is to my right as I go in. That strikes me as a good place to go, and that's the Tranquil Ward in 7. Okay.
Let's search the wards on the first floor. There's a plan on the wall which shows where the various wards are located.
Yep, I'm actually way ahead of you there, protagonist, whatever your name is. It would be lovely, by the way, if you could give me your name at some point. Can we just open this? No, that's locked. That's an extra door out. That's the observation ward. Oh, this might not have even been... Okay, fine. This might well not have been the actual observation ward. This is the observation ward through here, which means this might be about to be a lot less...
She's freezing. She's alone. Let's look for her.
Alright, no way to access any of that yet in that case. That means the only place I can really go is up. Or if I can't find anything upstairs, potentially... I'm guessing the lift doesn't work. The lift works! Back away from the lift. I don't trust the lift one bloody second. Not one bloody second do I trust that lift. I'm going on foot, alright? And there we are, a lovely wheelchair where the wheel just stopped spinning. That's a good thing to get me in the right bloody mood. Oh, there's a creepy doll. That will be the doll we're looking for. And that triggers a memory.
Mummy took good care of Charlotte. She tucked her in, hugged her, gave her cuddles and kisses. She was very affectionate and loving. Nothing bad happened to Charlotte, and I was amazed. I did not understand. At first, I was quite afraid. I feared that she wanted to hurt me. I was constantly expecting the moment when Mum would abandon her. Because I did not deserve to live. I did not deserve to be loved.
Okay.
It's cold. It's dark. Now she's cold. She'll get ill.
I really don't like how I'm carrying around this extremely creepy doll. I want to find a place to put that down, please. And we've got just a medical book here. So the doll is Charlotte, and I assume I'm Renee, but yet at the end of that flashback, suddenly it sounds like I might be Charlotte, and I'm, like, deflecting the... Oh, I don't have a torch anymore because of the doll. Beautiful. Now I've got nothing but the doll to carry around. I have to do the rest of this in darkness. Perfect. Ooh.
Those lamps might make the room warmer. But Charlotte's uncomfortable. She doesn't feel well.
Can I hold her up to the light to warm her up then? No, I need to find a source of warmth so this girl can put her doll down. I'm guessing the sun, even though it looks like it's a sunny day in Italy. That is not good enough.
I saw a wheelchair on the ground floor. It's a convenient place and we can get Charlotte into a warm place.
So a wheelchair down on the ground floor. I'm taking Charlotte back downstairs. Got it. Because apparently I need a wheelchair to move this doll around. Where was a wheelchair? Yeah, there's one right there. Okay. The doll is in the wheelchair.
Is a place for Charlotte? But it's cold. No. It's cold.
Was that drawing there before? Was the drawing of the giant eye on the stalk there a minute ago? I didn't see that the last time I was here. Right. Okay, now. Find Charlotte a warm place. Well, a warm place would logically be outside, right?
We need to find warm lights. Let's go into the surgical ward.
Oh, that's what the elevator's for then. We did indeed need to find her the warm lights, but we needed to find her a comfy place to sit first. Got it. We've already called the lift, so that's good. The game is making me go backwards because I can't turn around the wheelchair, which unnerves me. I swear these drawings were not here last time I was here. They were not. All these drawings of eye monsters, that was not there, right? I don't remember that at all. Right, it was through here, the surgical room with the lights. Put the doll in the surgical lights.
Goes away, you see? The light. Warmth. We can do it. The cold goes away. It's not forbidden. Now we can go to that ward, where everything started.
Observation ward on the ground floor. And I can look that up on the map so I know exactly where to go. Though actually, I think I know where the observation ward was. It was to the right of the entrance, so to the left from this direction. Yeah, it must be down here. It was locked previously, or does the game just unlock itself? Ah, yes. The game just unlocks itself. What's stopping me is my own mind, not an actual... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I think I'm having a flashback, Wibble. I'm back in, presumably... Wait, hang on. If I was here when I was 1942 as a little girl, I'd be very old now. The voice actress sounds... Oh, that's a massive drop. Can't even turn around, so I'm guessing we're going down there, and we might find our way... Ah, this will be what that secret entrance downstairs for. I'm guessing I'm about to fall through, in reality, a broken floor. And... No, gravity just shifted. Fine, got it. Yeah, I'm going to end up downstairs by falling through something in reality. And what's going to happen as a result is I'm going to end up down at the... Oh. Alright, this is slightly... This is making me a little bit on the dizzy side.
I was 16 and I was afraid. Always afraid. A fear that wore me down. I needed help, but I could not speak. Everything terrified me, even thinking. They said they were taking me to a place where the fear would go away, where I would get better. I stopped living in there. They dragged me away and tore off all of my clothes, every last stitch. I tried to explain what was going on in my head. They tied me to the bed for days, alone with my nightmares. It wasn't fear anymore. It was madness. And when you're mad, you cease to exist.
Ah, and now we're actually remembering. So who are you, and do I have my doll with me? Charlotte, is she important? Hello?
She was my only hope in this hell. I was falling down amongst the damned. But that woman and her smile kept me alive.
Ah, and I seem to have found my way back to the same bed, but now it's night. Excellent. Lucky I turned on the electricity then, really, isn't it? Excellent news. So yes, I'm assuming I'm over in... yeah, I'm still over on the left. It's just...
The door's locked from the outside.
Oh, that's not a good thing. Right. I need to get out through the window then somehow. How are we going to do... What was that? Oh! I don't like that one little bit. I don't like that one little bit. Who? What? That reminds me of the one bloody good moment in the entirety of the new Thief game back in, what was it, 2014, 2013, when you flipping went up to the insane asylum for the first time and it was locked up, then you looked for another entrance, and when you came back, it had become unlocked. Okay, which way goes back to? Is this back to the entrance?
You can't get out of here. Only the dead can leave.
Oh, good. Now only the dead can leave. Well, maybe we shouldn't have come here in the first place, whoever you are exactly. So all of these are locked. Now, down here, there was a... Is that the nurse's room? Yes, but can't get in there yet. Now, at the end, I believe there was a refectory and there were toilets down that way too, if I remember the map correctly. All of this is locked. It's a refectory. Oh, flip. The creepy doll has decided to follow me, I think. Hello, creepy doll. I don't like you one little bit. Are you my friend still? Ah, the creepy doll triggers another memory. When I was here in the refectory last time, in 1942, with all these other mad young people. Can I actually escape? Go to the nurse's office? Anything? Ah, he's holding the doll. Oh, they took my doll away from me. Right. Down this way, which I thought just led down towards the toilets, but I'm guessing we should give chase. Where's he gone? Can't touch anything in this universe. And the memories, you can only move. You can't interact with anything at all. Now, where did he go with Charlotte? And yeah, my working theory is I actually am Charlotte. I'm just sort of like dissociating from my own memories by applying them to the doll instead. Into the showers. And a bath.
He laughed, panted, lurched over me. It hurt when he touched me. I felt fragile, sick, dirty, filthy. All I could do was clutch Charlotte tightly while Renee obeyed. He was the boss in the realm of light. I was devoured by the evil I had done. I threw up and could feel hell getting closer and closer. My God, those medical examinations. The doctors said there was something inside me, which they would have dragged out of me. My God.
Oh. See, There's much worse things in the world than a scary monster that jumps out and goes boo. There's far worse things in the world, like how completely unregulated and unsupervised mental asylums were indeed, obviously, environments where very commonly extremely vulnerable people were subject to horrendous sexual abuse, including, of course, being made pregnant in an extremely Catholic society when being pregnant was shameful and abortion was a horrendous sin as well. Oh, oh, blimey. But it would appear, yes, in the original 1942 history, what I'm guessing likely happened was, yes, he knew I'd follow my doll, so he took the doll to an isolated bathroom when no one else was in it, specifically to lure me off alone so that he could rape me. Lovely. Okay, so let's head back in here where we met the doll last time, and the doll is now gone. So now we don't need to... Okay, we don't need to worry too much more about... I swear, none of this is here. None of this is here. The artwork appears after I've been in places. Ah, that door's back open again now. So now I can head back this way. And I'm guessing now I'm going the other side to the it's the calm women's room. Yes, the tranquil ward. So this is for the slightly more mad folks, and I need to go back to the more tranquil place. Though ideally, ooh, the nurse's office is now open. I'm guessing that's where my next memory is going to be then. So the nurse's office right here. And a note. Dear Director, I've been working this institute for 5 years now. I am a simple person, I'm not educated, and I feel embarrassed about writing to you. I always try to look on the bright side, but sometimes we have to do difficult things. That's our duty, and well I understand and accept it. There is no alternative. However, I've decided to write to you because something is happening which is not acceptable. I am well aware that among us there is someone who dedicates too much time to the youngest female patients that are confused. The serious nature of this fact has spurred me to write to you. I am certain of your indignation and the measures you will adopt to solve the problem. Please accept my fondest regards and respect. So one of the nurses knew that, yeah, one of the male attendants was indeed a serial rapist and tried to get something done to fix it. But I'm guessing nobody cared. And then I'm still just... I'm spending this entire game waiting for the jump scare. Every single locker I open, I'm just waiting for the jump scare to occur. So now we know at least one of the nurses was kind of on my side. And yes, indeed, the implication when they said there was something inside, I don't know whether Renee knew she was pregnant or not. In a very conservative religious society, would she even know that sex led to pregnancy? Necessarily? I don't know. In 1940s fascist, extremely Catholic Italy? No idea. I'm guessing now we can go the other way to the Tranquil Ward, right? Or if I can't, it'll give me some direction. Okay, what do you want then?
They went to the Gynecology Ward on the first floor.
Ah, the Gynecology Ward, indeed, because she was left pregnant by being raped by the attendant. Fine. So is that the room with the hot light, by any chance? Because that had... that... It's getting more... Ah, here we are. There's a plan right here when I first kind of come up. So, gynecology immediately to... Okay, just down the corridor at number 4 on the left, right there. Got it. And then the semi-agitated ward over on that side. Looks like all the floors are basically clones of each other. And this here is the gynecological ward. Right. Oh, the stirrups. The very uncomfortable high-up stirrups. By the looks of it, yes. And a telephone. A basic book, how to gynecology. Just in case you don't happen to know. That's okay, you can pick it up as you go. And indeed, over to the stirrups and the examination chair.
21/08/1938. Confidential. Dear A, I know what you think about these things, so I am referring a patient to you, Renee T. This wretched girl eluded our control and caused trouble in the park almost 3 months ago. The nurses should pay more attention. I'm examining the girl on the 28th. I'll sort things out, don't worry. We don't want to make things any worse. Then they said that Renee was crazy and that the illness was all in her head. Be careful, little girl. Be careful. I was scared and I didn't talk to anyone about the illness. Only her. Not even the other doctor. He never touched Renee. He just wrote things down. You can tell me everything. Don't be afraid, he said. Everything's going to be fine. Do you want to know what I'm writing? I write down what I see about you. Everything I see. He didn't hate Renee. He tried to help her. But he rarely examined her in those small surgeries.
The hospital obviously wanted to cover up the fact that there was a rape going on in the hospital. To cover it up, they simply told her that the pregnancy that she was becoming aware of was just in her head and forced an abortion on her against her will to cover their tracks. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible, and the symbolism starts to make more sense. This monster that's nothing but eyes and hands, because that's all she thinks the doctors are. The doctors that touch her and the doctors that look at her. That's what she thinks doctors are. And the surgeries, the small surgeries which are right here, which I passed by earlier. So we've got a surgery here and one more here. Okay, there's something lit up in there, so let's explore the open one, the nearest one first. So we've got the, so a psychologist's couch thingy. And another letter. Another letter. So document of admission with personal details. Yeah, I'm struggling with both the combination of the handwriting and the fact that I can't speak Italian. So, okay, mild problems there.
June 1935. After much theorizing and practice in clinics for the privileged, the moment to act has finally arrived. Volterra is the right place. It's an avant-garde hospital, the perfect place for a doctor who wants to contribute the change. 20th November. Crossing the threshold of the asylum was similar to entering into another dimension. A world of smells, noises, and image which it is not easy to imagine, describe, or explain. August 1936. The situation is similar to that in many other institutions. The department is overcrowded. Hundreds of patients are supervised by a handful of nurses, who are forced to tie the more agitated ones to their beds or to radiators. They do 24-hour shifts. It's impossible to work like this. 1937. The piercing stench in the wards, the constant noise of shouts and voices in which very little human content remains. Dirty, naked bodies, devoid of any dignity. The lunatic asylum bores into you. It wears you down. I often consider resigning. I feel useless and impotent, a sort of merciful jailer. A mercy which helps no one and only helps to soothe my conscience. 15th March 1938. Dramas are played out before my eyes every single day, and I try to keep my distance and I just do what I can. Some days ago, however, a girl arrived. I couldn't avoid her gaze. All she asked in her silent dignity was not to be ripped away from her world. And me? I'm old enough to be her father, the father she never had, who didn't want her, who rejected her without even knowing her. I, too, refused what she asked me. I couldn't do anything but add my signature and send her to hell. Dangerous for herself and others, and a cause of public scandal. This was what was written on the accompanying note from police headquarters. Difficult not to agree. How much more violence must this poor girl be subjected to? Her gaze is so intense, so far removed from the carefree nature which should make her happy at her age. I cried in my bed, in my solitude, thinking about those sad and frightened eyes staring at me.
So it would appear that my character arrived in 1938, and the first flashback we saw was in 1942. So she spent at least 4 years in this institution. It would appear she got into some form of trouble with the police, something involving violence, before she actually was sent here, but it's not yet clear what that was. But then obviously the treatment she had here made everything worse. And as for the little couch, is this going to be a memory? No. No reaction to that at all. Fine, into the other office. Now there was a light over here. I guess... Oh. Did a terrifying snake monster just sort of grow out of the wall there? Because I suspect he did. Right, what have we got here? A medical certificate. Okay, so this will be the medical qualification that this guy had to be a doctor here. Ooh, what's this? What have we got here in this medical kit? Can someone who speaks Italian tell me what that is? Because I've no bloody clue. Italian subscribers, help me. I've no idea what that is. I'm sorry, I don't speak Italian. I speak Latin, but Latin has changed an awful lot as it became Italian. It's you can't really just cope with one and figure out the other. Sadly, too much has changed over the millennia. And then we've got, obviously, one letter over here, which I'm going to guess is very, very important.
12th March 1938. Renee T., 16 years old, Menarche at the age of 12, housewife, father unknown, mother a seamstress. Admitted for observation yesterday morning from Pontedera, accompanied by a police officer authorized by the examining magistrate of the Court of Pisa to be admitted for psychiatric evaluation, which has been executed by me. Medical certificate. Mental illness preceded by warning signs. Has suffered from depression for a year, believing she has tuberculosis. Food deprivation. We shouldn't read this document. It's forbidden. We mustn't. If they find out, there'll be trouble.
We've suddenly got a choice here. It talks about Renee. It talks about you, so we have to read it. Don't be scared. Nothing will happen to you. That's true. We should not read it. It talks about Renee. It talks about you. We have to read it.
Have you ever wondered who you are? Yes, you must have wondered.
Ooh. I kind of think I'm you. But then, but I said earlier, like, that kind of doesn't make sense, because if she was at the age of 16 at 1938, then, well, she'd kind of be lucky to still be alive, to be honest. She'd have had a quite decent life for someone who lived through some challenging times. To have made it as far as she did, but a relative, maybe a child, I don't know. I honestly believe, I might be her, but let's say a relative, because that's the closest thing to me, because I'm definitely a relative of myself.
I never had children, I think. Let's read it. I need to understand. I need to remember.
Okay, go on then.
She is scared, hears noises and spirits. Presents serious signs of anxiety psychosis, suffers from hallucinations. She is anxious, confused, has a distressed expression, a questioning look as if terrified, disoriented. She feels confused, hears voices shouting in her head. She doesn't understand properly. She has not felt well for 2 or 3 months. When questioned, she replies, "My mother wants to hurt me. She always scares me. She chases me. Why are you here?" I had argued with my mother, and I was so disturbed by the shock that I felt like my head was spinning. There was a woman there who wanted to force me into a life of prostitution. They wanted to condemn me to be burned at the stake. Children were whispering, calling my name. 16th March. She couldn't sleep last night. They wanted to condemn her to be burned at the stake. 4th April. Transferred to the quiet ward, still under my supervision. Yes, that's true. The ward where Amara was. Yes, the stake. The children wanted to burn Renee. She had to pay for what she'd done. Like witches at the stake.
So she was constantly suffering from the delusion that people were trying to burn her as a witch. Yeah, what exactly had you done?
21st April. She is more awake this morning and responds to questions. She complains of headaches. She became emotional when she found out that her mother was there. She says that one day, years earlier, when she was with a friend of hers, she met a guy who made her get into a car and took her for a ride. There, she was made to smoke cigarettes and drink spirits, and that guy showed her certain things. He tried to hurt her and made her go crazy. She says that he promised to marry her and made her swear to keep it a secret. These details were roughly confirmed by her mother. After that, she became domineering, impatient, and hostile to her family, especially her mother. She started taking off her clothes in public, going from laughter to tears without warning. She rants, masturbates. I can't remember these things, only the guilt, the stake. I know that I deserve to pay for that guilt. I knew it even then.
So the trouble that she got into before she was brought to the asylum in the first place was she was raped by a boy who took her off somewhere. And of course, in a Catholic 1930s, 1940s society, that meant that she was at fault for the public scandal, because of course, even then, potentially those things could just have been quietly smoothed over had the two of them just got married. Oh, blah, creepy. Creepy, creepy, creepy.
She was uncooperative during the examination. She didn't want to be stripped. She remained rigid. Voluntary attention almost absent. Probable hallucinations. 25th April. Confused ideas, unable to maintain a spontaneous conversation. Reflexes all normal. Reactive pupils. Let's find Amara and we'll find the full medical record.
So I know where the Tranquil Ward is. It's down there. But before I go there, there's one thing I do want to go and see, which is there was that secret entrance I found right at the beginning, which I assumed was going to be there because the front door would be locked and that would be the only way in. But it would appear not. It would appear the front door is indeed perfectly open. So I desperately want to go and see what, in fact, was down in that little room, hidden downstairs, away from everything. What is in here? Because it's not, I mean, it can't be like the game end, because it's just here. It's open. So what were they hiding down here? What's going on? Some storage, some stuff, a mattress. And a plate. Somebody either was or still is living in this little room. And we've got, oh, hang on, does the switch work? So we do it with the generator. Hang on. Does that work? No, it doesn't look like it does. And we've got, I'm guessing there's a cigarette. Okay. So the secret room down here is just a little storeroom. But somebody, a homeless person or something, might still live here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is enough for now. I will do a little bit more of this, because this one's got me interested. I'm kind of curious where they're going with this one. So, there'll be a little bit more, but it won't be until later this week. And the reason I want to put that delay in, because this is one of those kind of very narrative-driven, quite linear games. So a game like that, I really feel like it's fair that I give a little bit of a pause between the first part and the subsequent part, or parts. I'm not sure exactly how long this game is. And that's because as I show more of this, there's probably less reason for you to go out and buy it. And that's not really fair to the devs, just because they've made a more narrative, linear game that I kind of show the whole thing in one go or very, very quickly. So I will show a bit more of this, but it will be later this week. But if you are interested in this sort of thing and want to know Renee's story, this sort of thing is always best experience for yourself. There will be a link in the description below. So more of this to come, but a bit later this week. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the deeply unnerving The Town of Light. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Here, have a hat. Oh, you don't have a head. I'm sorry, that was really insensitive of me. Oh, I don't want to interface with whatever this is, but alright. Oh god, he's running Windows 8. No bloody wonder it's all gone tits up. Fire extinguisher, if it's a choice between you and me, I'm afraid I'm sacrificing you, just FYI.